Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy. I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the NIV, and we are in the book of Ezra, and we are in chapter 5. And now we are moving on to a different king of Persia. So we had some work under Cyrus to rebuild the temple. It continued on in Xerxes through Artaxerxes, and in Artaxerxes, it actually was brought to a stop until the next king came into power. And now we're going to read a letter to that king. Tattenai, Tattenai, so Tattenai's letter to Darius. Now Haggai, Haggai, the prophet, and Zechariah, the prophet, descendants of Iddo, prophesied to the Jews in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of God of Israel, who was over them. Then Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, and Jeshua, son of Jozadak, set to work to rebuild the house of God in Jerusalem, and the prophets of God were with them, helping them. At that time, Tattenai, governor of Trans-Euphrates, and Shethar-Bozenaiah, and their associates went to them and asked, "Who authorized you to rebuild this temple and restore this structure?" They also asked, "What are the names of the men constructing this building?" Got a footnote of A there. See the Septuagint, that's Greek, Aramaic. We told them the names of the men constructing this building. Okay. But the eye of their God was watching over the elders of the Jews, and they were not stopped until the report could go to Darius and his written reply be received. In this copy of the letter that Tattenai, governor of Trans-Euphrates, and Shethar-Bozenai, Shetharboznai, and their associates, the officials of Trans-Euphrates, sent to King Darius the report they sent him read as follows. So essentially, they just waited for the people who complained to die, and then just started building the temple again. They were going to make the king of Persia tell them to stop all over again, because God said it was time to rebuild, because the prophets said it was time to rebuild, so they rebuilt. Or they started. To King Darius, cordial greetings. The king should know that we went to the district of Judah to the temple of the great God. The people are building it with large stones and placing the timbers in the walls. The work is being carried on with diligence and is making rapid progress under their direction. We questioned the elders and asked them, "Who authorized you to rebuild this temple and restore the structure?" We also asked them their names so we could write down the names of their leaders for your information. This is the answer they gave us. "We are the servants of the God of heaven and earth, and we are building the temple that was built many years ago, one that the great king of Israel built and finished. Because our fathers angered the God of heaven, he handed them over to Nebuchadnezzar, the Chaldean, king of Babylon, who destroyed this temple and deported the people to Babylon. However, in the first year of Cyrus, king of Babylon, King Cyrus issued a decree to rebuild the house of God. He even removed from the temple, or palace, of Babylon the gold and silver articles of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the temple in Jerusalem and had brought to the temple or palace in Babylon. Then King Cyrus gave them to a man named Sheshbazzar, Sheshbazzar, whom he had appointed governor. and told him, take these articles and go deposit them in the temple in Jerusalem and rebuild the house of God on its site. So now we know it's in the exact same site. So this Sheshbazzar came and laid the foundations of the house of God in Jerusalem. From that day to the present, it has been under construction, but it has not yet been finished. Now, if it pleases the king, let a search be made in the royal archives of Babylon to see if King Cyrus did in fact issue a decree to rebuild the house of God in Jerusalem. Then let the king send his decision in this matter. So, king, we don't know if this is true. Can you tell if this is true? And even if it is true, do you want them to build this temple? Did you ask for this? Did anybody ask for this? What are they doing? That kind of thing. But at least being reasonable and them asking instead of just assuming a bias, it is in our natural way to ask somebody in a position of authority what they would like us to do. It's kind of baked into the nature of us and baked into our culture and society no matter where we are. So the real question, I think, is who are you asking for authority to do anything? And is it the right person? I mean, I spend most of the day talking to him, so I recommend you start asking him what he wants you to do and wait until he tells you to ask a human and then do it. I find that works best for me. So if it doesn't work for you, then I hope you find what does. If you want to come back for the next video, you're going to get to hear the answer from the king of Persia, the king of Babylon, King Darius. Till the next video, friends.